And to be honest with you, I don't see why, even from an Islamic perspective, why not?
Okay.
They can enforce red lights and green lights on the traffic lights. They can enforce that you're not chewing gum in a government building. So I'm finishing my answer very quickly, that I think it is quite possible and plausible that if the government takes on that responsibility and says that they're going to enforce this, they can. However, I want to say one thing about Iran. You can only enforce something when it's already in line with the beliefs and the values and the culture of a people. You cannot. Would we ever think of enforcing hijab in London on these? We couldn't, because their values and their belief system is not in line with ours. I suspect this is the situation in Iran. Unfortunately, I suspect the majority of the women don't seem to want enforced hijab.
I don't want really to focus in Iran a lot, because you really clarified that killing a woman because she doesn't wear a headscarf or jilbab.
Yeah, that's a crime. That's a crime.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's a crime.
that's we move on.
It has something to do with Islam in that it's a crime.
Yeah.
Islam says
The
it's a
second
crime.
point is that does that Allah Azza wa Jal, for example, gave authority to the state to impose jilbab on women, and you says maybe
Explicitly, no.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not aware.
Do you agree that if woman left the house without jilbab or exposing her body, that you know what is a munkar mean? Like an evil. Do you agree that this is a munkar or not?
Well, that of course. That of
100%.
course,
Okay.
of course.
There is verses in the Quran where Allah Azza wa Jal, He commands us to remove munkar if we see. For example, there is a verse where Allah Azza wa Jal in the Quran says, "Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas, ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar."
That's why we're the best of ummahs if we do that.
So another verse where Allah says, "Al-mu'minuna wal-mu'minat ba'duhum awliya'u ba'd, ya'muruna bil ma'ruf wa yanhauna 'anil munkar." And the Prophet Muhammad says, religion is a nasiha, is an advice. If you see something wrong, change it, right? By your hands, which is that belongs to the authority,
The authorities,
the
yes,
government
yes.
or the husband inside the house. If you cannot change it, then change it by your tongue, which means speak and give advice. If you can by your tongue, by your heart, like ask Allah to guide this person. So if we look at that's what I'm. So if we look at the Quran and the Sunnah, that the government they have to make sure that women, when they leave the house, they should dress like the way Allah Azza wa Jal commanded. And not just for a Muslim woman, by the way, for the Muslim and the Christians and the Hindus are all the women, because that's an evil. That's a munkar, you understand? And that will cause a lot of damage to the society. And if we don't do that, if the state they don't care anymore, why they don't care? Because maybe there is an outsider power, let's say the United Nations. They will threat this country, or if you force a woman to cover, we will sanction you, and the government says, okay, we're not going to force them, so this is going to cause less harm. Which that's a reasonable answer, you understand? But if the government, that's the authority, they say we don't care because there is no punishment in the Quran of that, I believe that's the authority that would be questioned at the day of judgment.
Yeah. They would be questioned, but they might have an answer. As you said, they might have a reasonable answer or excuse. So, no, I agree with everything you said, and that's why I said that I didn't find anything explicit and direct. It doesn't mean that there's not something that could be implicit, that we could deduce from the Quran, of course. So, what I meant was, there's no like hudud punishment given in the Quran or in the hadiths for the lady not wearing the hijab in that sense. But you're right, generally under the category of prohibiting the evil, the government could say that, look, I mean, this is part of sexual morality, public morality, we have to enforce this. So I'm agreeing with you in principle, but I'm just being honest with you. I really feel, brother, that Iran is a very complex situation. I know, okay, but I am. Yeah, but I am. Okay. Yeah, but because everyone will apply this to Iran. Everyone is thinking about Iran right now. Even you were originally thinking about Iran. So Iran in particular, I feel that at this point, man, if they weigh out the, maslaha and all that, it seems like they are turning their population more and more against Islam, unfortunately. So there has to be some basic ta'lim, some basic education at this point first. And hijab is like step 10, man. It's there, but it's not maybe step number 1. I think they forgot about step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because these people, they after 30 years of living under a so-called Islamic regime, they should love the hijab. They should love the Sharia. They should love Islam. The fact that they don't is, number 1, we know that they have a different idea of Sharia. Of course, we're not Shia. But number 2 is they probably didn't even do their own job. Even if I was Shia, I would say that this Shia government has not done a proper job of sharing Shiaism with the people.
So what is since we agree that the state, they have to remove evil, and women live in the
But
house.
the bigger evil right now is apostasy.
I agree with you.
Look at the Iranians that I meet in Canada. I'm telling you, like 8 out of 10 of them will just say, I'm ex-Muslim, I'm not even a Muslim. And then 2 will say they're Muslim. Now, what kind of Muslim? Allahu alam. But I'm just happy to hear when they say they're Muslim. I say, Assalamu
No,
alaikum.
but you agree with
Or
me?
Salaam alaikum, I say to them.
So the state, they have a right to remove evil. Okay, we agree
In
with
principle, in
Yeah.
theory.
So the state, if they say to women, for example, they made a law that women, when they leave the house, there is a certain dress, as you said, is sexual public or something. That's what you have to do. Now,
Even
if
under
the-
secular law.
Yeah, if the woman she refused to do
Yes.
that, then she will receive a punishment, which we agree that is not
It cannot be
sentence.
death. Cannot be death.
I
Yeah,
agree
yeah,
with you.
yeah. It's a discretionary,
So
whatever.
I think even though it didn't describe the punishment in the Quran or the Sunnah, but there's something called a ta'zir, which the state they can
Discretionary,
say.
they decide.
So as I told you, the death penalty is completely,
Yeah.
or even like shaving the hair or cutting the hair. No. So probably she'll be arrested. Maybe she'll have a fine or something. You know.
Yeah.
So this is an answer for those, because there's a lot of so-called Muslim liberals.
Yes,
that
yes,
doesn't
yes.
make any sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That no, the government, they shouldn't enforce the law. Okay, Lan, this so-called liberal Muslims, why are you enforcing? Why are you asking the Jews and the Christians to pay the jizya?
Well, they won't ask them for that either.
Yeah, okay.
They'll
How
say
can-
all of that is.
How can you answer the question?
finished,
Why do you
yeah.
ask the Jews and the Christians to pay the jizya if it's not about enforcing it? You understand? Why the state they will punish you if someone does not pray 5 times a day? You understand?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Someone does not pray 5 times a day is not a Muslim. And the state, they will make sure that people they pray. They should make people that fast in Ramadan. They pay zakat to the state. If a Muslim says, I don't want to pray, don't pay zakat, you think the state them go ahead? It's between Allah? No.
Abu Bakr as-Siddiq
It
radiallahu
was war
anhu
against them,
fought
right?
them.
If the Jews and the Christians, they refuse to pay the jizya, just leave them alone. But as I told you, the state, they should see. If forcing someone to wear a hijab or to fast Ramadan, which is get worse and worse,
Yeah.
then they shouldn't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Because there is power
Yeah,
outside.
yeah.
Okay?
And that's why it's complex, because
Yes.
I think right now the biggest munkar right now is that whatever little bit of Islam they have left, whatever little bit of Islam, every Iranian can say, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. At least they can say this. Even this they will lose it. Even this they will lose it. And they're going to fall right into the arms of the Islamophobes and the people who hate Islam. And now I'm hearing the Iranians, it started with just we don't like hijab, this and that. There's some bad mullahs, there's some good mullahs. It started with that.
Yeah.
Now they're falling into the arms of the anti-Islam Islamophobes, and now they're repeating their arguments. Now they're talking about everything. This, that, apostasy, and marriage of Aisha, this, that. Like they're just repeating everything now. So they've lost whatever little bit of Islam they had left, you know. So in my mind, the bigger munkar right now is to preserve the basic
Tawheed.
Islam or kalima,
Which is the most
the
important thing,
tawheed
is the
that they
tawheed,
have.
yeah.
Before
As
they
I-
become atheist and agnostic, man.
I agree with you that they fail big time.
Just like in my own home, Akhi, just like in my own home, I don't have a daughter. But if I had a daughter, would I enforce hijab on her? Of course I would. Of course I would.
But what,
Yeah.
enforcement, just to clarify, is not just taking jinn.
No. But just telling her, look, you live here, you're under my roof, I'm your dad, you have to do this when you leave the home. But once she reaches a certain age, if I saw, to be honest with you, if I saw that she's becoming so rebellious, she's not praying now, she's starting to hate Islam, at that point then, I wouldn't be enforcing it in the
you
same
have to
way.
start with the-
Not because I don't believe I should be enforcing
I agree.
it, but I'm like, right now, if I keep on pressuring her
worse.
for the hijab,
Yeah.
she's gonna leave Islam altogether.
I agree.
So I'll just say, okay, it's between you and Allah. I've taught you what's right. Yeah. So now it'll become nasiha now.
I understand. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I told you.
So
well,
Iran
as
has reached this point now. They're
you-
rebelling
yeah,
now.
they shouldn't. As
They're-
you said,
yeah.
if you have a daughter and you say maybe she's gonna rebel and leave the house and it get worse, maybe she leave Islam.
Yeah.
Start with like the basics, like Tawheed, and this is a command from Allah. We go to paradise. This, like it might make it nice to her. Okay. And then move on to fear her as for punishment in hellfire. This. And you praise him, Allah guide her. Probably she come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this thing she should done. When it comes to a father, you have first of all you have to choose the right wife. You have to choose the righteous one.
Yeah.
The Prophet Muhammad told us that فَاظْفَرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ تَرِبَتْ يَدَيْكَ. You have to choose a right religious one, which she can help you.
Yes.
And as you says, you have to be with your children. You have to be nice to them.
Yeah,
playing with them.
yeah.
When they grow up, they will love.
Right.
If you just completely ignoring them,
Yeah,
you choose
yeah.
like a half-naked wife and she doesn't get. Of course, you will have problems.
And I think this is what that Iranian regime
Yeah.
seems to have done. It seems like they've enforced a certain morality on the people, and the people feel that the government people themselves have not lived according to that morality. They are guilty of corruption. They are guilty of this. So people's feelings are going to change then, right, against them. So
I agree.
it's unfortunate, but
Alhamdulillah.
maybe something good will come out of the bad. Maybe things have to go bad before they
don't
get good again.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
killing someone because she doesn't wear a hijab. That's
Yeah, no,
completely-
we agree. Everyone agree.
That's-
Everyone
yeah,
knows
yeah.
that's a crime in Islam, and that's a crime
That's
in
not,
the
that's
secular
not, that's
life.
not how because some women, I don't know if they are Muslims or atheists, they start burning the headscarf or jilbab. Is this the right punishment of because of a stupid behavior of a police officer? You understand?
Yeah.
What has a headscarf or jilbab to do with the stupid behavior of police officer? You understand?
Yeah.
Some I saw videos. Some people they are attacking mullahs and they start throwing the turbans away.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, that's the whole tragedy, that in the minds of many Iranians, Islam and their government are synonymous. It's one and the same thing. There's no difference. The government is Islam. Islam is the Iranian government. Now, you and I know that's not the case. But in their minds, that's how it works. And, we make dua, may Allah help the cause of
you so
Islam.
much, brother, for that.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you, man, for
No
sharing.
problem,
Thank you for
bro.
sharing
Thank
your...
you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Just go.
Oh, no problem. Do I have any of your items here? What's your channel name, brother?
Let me close this.